Episode 9 of Lovely Runner resumes with Imsol, catching up on the news of sun-jae's stabbing. Urgently, she races to the hospital and encounters sun-jae's father in tears. Determined, she decides to revisit sun-jae's residence in search of the time-traveling watch. However, her plans are interrupted when In-hyuk arrives and confronts her, holding her responsible for sun-jae's assault and questioning the significance of finding the watch. Despite his skepticism, he discloses that sun-jae had misplaced the watch long ago and failed to retrieve it. Distraught, Imsol returns home to find her mother engrossed in the news. Reporters allege that Young-soo harbored resentment towards sun-jae for rescuing Imsol during a kidnapping incident in 2009, a memory Imsol cannot recall. Seeking clarification from her mother, Imsol discovers sun-jae's altruistic efforts to assist the authorities in apprehending Young-soo. The following day, Imsol meets with Taesung's father, the lead investigator in the 2009 case. Granting her access to the case records, he directs her to sun-jae's eyewitness statement. According to the report, sun-jae stumbled upon Imsol's discarded books on May 10th while returning home, only to hear her cries for help. Promptly alerting the police, he rushed to her aid. Arriving at the scene, sun-jae witnessed Imsol's attempted escape before she collapsed. Confronted by Young-soo, sun-jae valiantly intervened, preventing the assailant from fleeing until law enforcement arrived. Despite the investigators' intention to notify Imsol of Young-soo's release, the attacker initiated aggression against sun-jae first. With sun-jae incapacitated, Imsol returns home to delve into the case files, grappling with feelings of guilt. However, a glimmer of hope emerges when she identifies the watch in a crime scene photograph. Hastening to contact Taesung's father, she learns that recovered items are typically returned to their rightful owners post-case resolution. Imsol embarks on a frantic search for the watch, on the verge of despair until her grandma enters the scene, sporting the timepiece. Grandma, the epitome of old-school cool, reveals she's been safeguarding it all along, though her motives raise a few eyebrows. How is it that she alone recalls Imsol's time-traveling escapades? With the watch secured, Imsol rushes to the hospital, determined to rectify the situation before activating the timepiece. This time, she finds herself transported to March of 2009, perched atop a school horse statue despite being in college. A clumsy misstep sends her tumbling into sun-jae's embrace, evoking that unmistakable look of adoration from him before she makes a hasty retreat. Her friend, Hyunju, catches up and queries why she persists in avoiding sun-jae. Imsol cryptically explains her reasons as she receives a bag from Hyunju, its contents a mystery. At the police station, Imsol finally reports her initial abduction, leaving the officer surprised at the year-long delay. Explaining her memory loss, she hands over car keys taken from her abductor, linking the culprit to the Juyong Reservoir incident, prompting the police's immediate attention and referral of her case to Taesung's father, who oversaw the reservoir case. Post-police visit, Imsol swings by a self-defense store for essentials before catching Taesung in an alley, mistakenly accusing him of bullying a child. It turns out Taesung was merely aiding the youngster in locating lost money. The former couple meets for a meal, catching up on each other's lives. Taesung impresses Imsol with his achievements. He's graduated and thriving. Proud of him, Imsol engages in friendly banter before Taesung departs, accidentally swapping bags with Imsol in the process. Unbeknownst to him, he now carries underpants intended for his dad. Meanwhile, our smitten Taesung confides in In-hyuk about sensing Imsol's peculiar behavior. In-hyuk attributes it to Imsol's apparent disdain for sun-jae, noting her hastened departure this time around, though he jests about sun-jae's undeniable charm, spotlighting a song he penned for Imsol. Back at home, Imsol continues her avoidance of sun-jae, her neighbor. Upon returning, Im playfully teases her about the horse statue incident and their shared course with sun-jae. Im feigns innocence regarding any teasing directed at sun-jae, though the truth suggests otherwise. In sun-jae's household, his father discusses the possibility of seeking therapy at a specialized foreign hospital for injured athletes. Sun-jae hesitates, prompting disappointment from his father, who perceives his reluctance. Despite lingering rejections from Imsol, Sun-jae remains hopeful, unwilling to relinquish his feelings for her. The following day, Hyunju expresses disappointment at Imsol's unpreparedness for their school trip, exacerbated by her misplaced uniform. Assisting Imsol in getting ready, they depart, coincidentally sharing a train with Sun-jae. Imsol endeavors to avoid him, a sentiment reciprocated by Sun-jae, each striving to maintain distance. Amidst the journey, a student sparks a conversation about a legendary belief that kissing during the trip leads to marriage. Hyunju enthusiastically entertains the notion, concocting schemes to ensnare Imjeom, speculating that he may have recently faced a romantic setback. She's not the sole optimist. A girl seated beside Sun-jae seems equally excited, showering him with flirtatious glances. Despite Imsol's best efforts to steer clear of Sun-jae, fate intervenes. Initially, she finds herself dancing before his group after a drinking game mishap. Later, attempting to flee the excursion, she unwittingly stumbles into a zone inhabited by wild boars, where she accidentally strikes Sun-jae upon his sudden appearance. In the ensuing chaos, Imsol inadvertently triggers a trap, prompting Sun-jae to come to her aid once more. Perplexed by her avoidance, Sun-jae queries her motives, receiving no response as he assists her back to camp. Simultaneously, an inebriated Imsol also departs, with Sun-jae silently trailing behind. Imsol seeks refuge in one of the camp tents, attempting to drift into slumber. Concerned about her safety in the elevated camping tent, Sun-jae rushes to prevent her potential fall, catching her just in the nick of time. Imsol breaks into tears, questioning why she always finds herself in the role of savior. Urging Sun-jae to leave her be regardless of circumstances, she's met with hurt from Sun-jae, who implores her to refrain from actions that cause him concern. After a taxing day, Sun-jae opts for the comfort of home, where he finds In-hyuk contemplating entering a song competition. Facing difficulties securing gigs with his band, In-hyuk considers Sun-jae's song. Though not opposed, Sun-jae deems the song unready, querying if In-hyuk shared it with others, receiving a negative response. Meanwhile, leveraging Imsol's report and map, the police embark on a mission to apprehend Young-soo at his hideout. Regrettably, Young-soo anticipates their arrival, preemptively setting fire to the location. Gleefully observing from a distance, he revels in the destruction, leaving the authorities empty-handed and thwarted in their pursuit of evidence. The next morning finds Imsol back at home, shaken by the news of the fire relayed by Taesung's dad. A detective suggests that Young-soo might have been tipped off about their plans. Fear gripping her, Imsol hastily prepares to depart, fearing Young-soo's potential retaliation, only to unexpectedly encounter Sun-jae upon opening her door. Inquisitive, Sun-jae questions her sudden departure, then delves into how she came to know about his unreleased song. In the epilogue, it's revealed that during Imsol's intoxicated state, Sun-jae escorted her back to camp, where she continued to sing his song and cryptically mentioned her departure to return to her own time. The scene transitions to the present, with Sun-jae confronting Imsol about her purported time-traveling origins. The episode concludes with Imsol staring back at him in astonishment, her expression mirroring her inner turmoil. I'm